Hello! So, I didn't actually get to finish the rest of my reactions. It's been I think about 4 hours since I did the war cry videos that I did, and mainly just because I kind of couldn't, I couldn't help that. It just ended up happening like that. So, I think it was like 5:30 by the time I'd finished that reaction. So, because I started at like 3 doing stuff. So it just took that long for me to finish. But yeah, it takes me a lot longer to actually edit the videos than it does to make the videos, which is crazy because it takes me like 2 hours sometimes. It depends how many videos I do, but usually it takes about 2 hours to film my reactions. And then I usually edit like at least 2 of them that day, and then the rest of them I just kind of hope to do the next day. But bro, it's just so much work, y'all. But yeah, anyway. And with like these reactions, actually I don't think I get very many views on the Anteam reaction things, which is really interesting because it's making me think, like, should I even keep doing them? Because like I can just watch all of these things myself. Like, do I need to react if nobody's actually going to watch these videos? Do you know what I mean? But I've been getting like comments. Well, it's usually one person that's commenting, but I get some people commenting about this, so it makes me think that maybe I can like keep doing it just because other people seem to watch my videos, even if it's not like loads of people. But yeah, I was thinking today, I think I'm going to do the Dark Moon, the Grey City thing, because I want to kind of see if they actually have proper lore. You know what I mean? Like, I want to see if the lore actually makes sense in this video, or because obviously I think this video came out. When did it come out? I think it's the first thing that came out. Like, I think this came out before they even had like a debut, probably. But I also think that they're not going to have like actual subtitles on this thing. Like, I don't think they're going to have like the subtitles for the parts that actually need it, because they didn't in the other thing. So I just don't know, y'all. I really don't know. But the thumbnail of this is just Nicholas, Kay, Taki, and EJ. So only the ones that were in Ireland. So that's very interesting. I wonder if they did that because they knew that people would want to see them. You know, because they are the ones that like were were from Ireland and stuff, so they'd be the most known. But then it's also interesting because I've looked up to see who's like the most biased in this group, and Taki is quite far down every single chance I have found. You know, like Fuma is usually the bottom, like he's usually like the one that's the least biased every single time I've ever tried to find out who's the most biased and stuff. But Taki's always quite low as well, so which is pretty sad because, but I mean, in a group that's like 9 people, obviously you're gonna have like a least favorite because there just always is, like, and they're not even too far apart. Like, I think it's like they all have like 13% ish, you know, it's not that far apart. It's like 16 to 13% kind of. I mean, it's probably a bit more than that, but you know what I mean? Like, it's not too far. Like, sharing out between 9 is, pretty difficult to do that. So I think it's pretty okay, to be honest, but it's still kind of sad that Taki and Fuma are so far down. But, I think Fuma was like the 5th one, right? When, like, in the guide, I think he was the 5th person, like, that was chosen. Do you know what I mean? So I think it makes sense that he would be like the least biased, because out of everybody he'd be the least, like, I guess, not wanted in the group, but you know what I mean? Because obviously he was wanted in the group, but he's like the least biased because like he was chosen last, I guess. But it's very interesting like that. But he's very freaking talented. I have seen quite a few reactions where Fuma is people's biases, but usually I've found people who like either bias like Nicholas, Kay, or like who else? I'm trying to think who else. Maki. There's not usually people that bias it like anyone else really. Like, I only recently found somebody who biased Fuma, and then somebody else who biased is, actually, I've seen quite a few Yuma biases too, because I do kind of look for him the most. I am thinking that Yuma will probably be my bias, but I don't know yet. I just love his energy and his voice, and also like the teeth are so cute. Bruh, I hope he just keeps that look forever. Like, I hope he keeps them teeth, because he looks so he looks so pretty, and then he's just like so aggressive and fluid. It's crazy. Anyway, let's just start this and see what we think about it. One day, claw marks. Wait a minute. I'll start the whole thing again. One day, claw marks appear in the town. Okay. So 3 people. Who is it going to be? Could they be the people, wonder? Okay. Okay's in the car, but I know. Oh. Oh wait, so maybe after what happened with the guy. He wasn't a bully, was he? Nico, I mean, he wasn't a bully to him. Or did they turn him into a werewolf? Or did they just sense that he was a werewolf? It's one of those two things. Oh. Oh shit. Well, with a scratch though, would you turn because you are scratched? That's so strange. I love how I find it interesting that it is only them 4. Because there's a whole group. I wonder why they chose to only do it with these 4. Do you know what I mean? It's also interesting that they have the wolves there. Like, they're showing the wolves and they're showing them. That's kind of fun that they're doing it like this. Oh shit. Oh my god, that was the end. Yo. Oh shit. Still more of it. Oh shit. Oh, we've seen these ladies. Well, we've seen one of them in the other, in Warcry we saw these ladies. Well, one lady, but still. We saw these red, we saw the red, you know, outfit thingies. Oh, that's so interesting. So they have definitely more of a lore aspect here. I wonder what people are saying in the comments actually. Let me have a look. I love how NHypen and Team storylines are connected. True. That's very fun. For those who only know about Dark Moon for the webtoon, this is a spin-off narrating the story of the werewolves. It's the first time I see 2 groups explicitly sharing one universe and lore. I'm so excited for this spin-off. Honestly, that's really cool, isn't it? Like, that it is basically the same lore. Like, I mean, it is the same lore, but they just have different worlds because obviously they're werewolves and Hypen are vampires. Like, it makes sense. But it's just really cool that they're actually connected in that way. I wish the whole Dark Moon storyline to be adapted as a drama within Hypen and A-Team and Anteam as actors. I'd literally pay to watch it. Bruh, honestly, that'd be so fun. That'd be so fun. Give Nicholas a villain role in the future. My boy's little smirk had me dead. Bruh. I knew Kay was extremely talented, but wow, hopefully we will see him in dramas one day. His acting is out of this world. Bruh, I'm telling you right now, like, actually this is interesting because it was Nicholas and Kay that acted the most in this video, because Taki and EJ were kind of just behind Nicholas, right? Like, Nicholas is the one that actually came up to Kay and, like, you know, cut him. So I do wonder, because with werewolves, like, there's 2 different ways, right, that some werewolves are, where one of them is you bite and then that's when you also turn, right? I'm mainly just thinking about Teen Wolf. Or you could be scratched and then you could still turn. So was Kay already a werewolf at that point, and was this before? Because obviously after this is probably when we go into the MV for their debut. So who was that guy then? You know what I mean? Like, they haven't actually said who that guy was and like why he essentially left Kay. I'm assuming that he dies there, but we don't actually know. We know he's definitely hurt, but we don't actually know what because he didn't even look like he was going to die in that scene, but he probably was, because otherwise where is he? But then in that actual debut music video, like the way that they're talking and stuff, it kind of seems more like that Kay is looking for him. Do you know what I mean? Like, he literally says I'm sorry, like Kay doesn't, but the guy does, you know, the actor. He says I'm sorry, and then, you know, Kay is just like thinking about it and thinking about getting the moon and stuff. Like, I wonder what that all is meaning then. Like, if anybody actually knows fully about this storyline, I would really love, like, you just write like spoilers in the comments so that other people don't get spoiled, but like, please write in the comments like everything about the werewolf side of this, because I'm really interested to know. Like, sometimes with Enhypen, at the start of Enhypen's lore, I could kind of predict things that were going to happen, or I could kind of like see, especially with TXT, I feel like BTS and TXT's storylines were so much more simple, and it was a lot easier for me to try and, especially with BTS, I feel like they set the standard of like the easiest storyline, because theirs was a lot easier, but even then it's still kind of not finished, I don't think, but it was a lot easier for me to try and work out. And obviously they had like the notes and stuff in the albums, but I don't know, I still tried to figure it out without the notes and stuff. But with TXT, and like, there are some TXT people who, like, you know, do theories on YouTube. I haven't really seen anyone do any theories for like Enhypen and, you know, and &TEAM, but I haven't really looked for anyone who does theories on those groups, so I only really looked for BTS and TXT, so maybe I'll have to try and search and see if anybody has done any theories on them. But it'd be very interesting to actually look at and see, because so far it's kind of difficult to actually tell what their storyline is going through, but it's interesting to see those red lady cloaked ladies, you know, the red, like, I wonder what they're about. Like, obviously Enhypen's storyline has a girl, but she's kind of like more of like a same thing like her, right? Whereas these ones were like, you know, they were like surrounded by not crows. They were surrounded by bats, you know, when we watched the Warcry video. So I don't really know if that means that they're more working for like the bad guys. Like, are they more working for like the vampires, so they're bad, and then the werewolves are like, you know, in this storyline at least, because it's interesting, because when you look at Enhypen and stuff, you'd be thinking like the vampires are the good guys, and then when you look at like &TEAM stuff, you'd be thinking, oh, the werewolves are the good guys. But we don't actually know. I mean, I don't know if they're actually against each other properly. I just know that when the storyline with Drunk Days starts, and, you know, that girl is going to like the party, I'm pretty sure, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure they wanted her there so that they could probably drink her blood, but I could be wrong, because I don't really know. But if that was the case, then because I don't know, I still don't know if that girl was the girl that you know, the like the main girl of their storyline. I don't know if that's the same girl as what it's always supposed to be. If it is, then obviously she's like another vampire, right, or whatever, which means that maybe she wasn't a vampire at that point, or maybe she was, I don't know. But either way, it just meant that, like, why were they running after her, essentially? Do you know what I mean? Like, why were the werewolves running after her? Like, were they trying to save her? What were they trying to do? Because obviously we know that EJ and Kay were in that music video. Or was it Nicholas? No, I'm pretty sure EJ was in there. I just think Taki wasn't in there. But Nicholas, was Nicholas in it? No, I think it was just EJ. I think it was just EJ and Kay that were in that video. I don't think Nicholas was in it, but I could be wrong. But yeah, it was very interesting to see that, you know, to see all the videos again, to just correlate the storyline. As I say, I'm kind of bad with storyline things when it comes to specific knowing, because I would need to read everything to know fully, you know, what everything means. But if somebody could write me a comment instead, that'd be very helpful, because I don't really know where you read any of this stuff that, you know, I would need to know about, and I also don't want to buy anything, so, you know, if that's the way I'd have to do it, then that'd be very irritating. So if somebody could just like summarize it in the comments, just like write, you know, just do like loads of like red crosses or something, and just be like spoilers, and then just do loads of spaces or loads of like, you know, so that you can not spoil anybody else, but so that I know what's going on, because that'll be really cool. But yeah, it's interesting to see that they actually have a concept. I do like the concept things. Also, this has barely any views on it, so not a lot of people actually watched this when it dropped. Do you know what I mean? So that's very interesting. But anyway, I'm going to go. The next videos that I'll be doing on Anteam will be like Dropkick and Really Crazy, like the live version. Well, the one that they have, it looks like a bus or a train that they're in. But yeah, the one that they have in there. And then I'll probably do Samidari. I don't know how you say it. And Scar to Scar. So we'll see. I don't know when I'll do them. It probably won't be right now. But mostly because I keep yawning in this video, and I don't really want to keep yawning in every video that I do. Do you know what I mean? So I'd rather do it a different day. But yeah, I think this is a very good... oh, they have an actual debut trailer. Hold on, let me have a look at that. I just want to see what that actually has in it. Like if it's got like any lore in it. If it's just kind of like them just walking around and stuff, I don't think it... if it's just like an album kind of shoot looking thing, then I don't really need to watch it. But if it's actually to do with their lore, then that would be very interesting to see. Okay, yeah, okay, it's part of the lore, so let me just... hold on. I wonder if it's going to be Maki talking, or if it's going to be like in Japanese. Let's have a look. Wolves run. They run boundlessly, endlessly across vast territories. Oh my god. Wait a minute. I've got to go back because the words were together. Territories they claim for themselves. I was like, why did they make that confusing? Okay. Territories more expansive than 23 wards of Tokyo combined, but that only happens in the far future. Interesting. That back has grown enough to hold up to the sweeping sky. This is really interesting because this must be a wolf's point of view right now, right? There are no lone wolves. Unlike the wolves. Is this... because this voice sounds like it's the actor guy, right? It doesn't sound like it's any of the actual guys. Yeah, so maybe he's the alpha. Maybe he's the alpha. That would make sense. Right? If he's the alpha, like if this guy, the actor guy, Kenshin I think his name was, but if he is the alpha and he dies, yeah. But if he dies by something, I don't know who he dies by. I don't know if he dies in a scrap with wolves or if it's the bats, like the vampires. But either way.
限界を超えていく。
I love how they use dogs.
弱い自分にも
I mean, technically they're dogs, right? I don't think they... although, do they count as wolves? Bruh, I don't know. I actually don't know. Oh, Haru.
仲間と一緒ならもっと好きな自分になれる。
Interesting, Haru is like...
皇帝の力と生命力を手にして新しい世界へ
Oh, Taki's
力い
so
っぱい
tiny.
走り出す。それが僕たちエンティームだ。君も一緒に走らないか？
See, this doesn't sound like any of them to me. Like, if this narration is done by Kenshin, it would make a lot of sense. Do you know what I mean? Interesting, this one is later though, because this one's from is it? No, maybe it's not. No, I think this one is this one might be the first one they did, because wait, I'll have to have a look actually, because this one's 3 years ago, but it says the date is November the 8th, 2022. But it says debut trailer, so I've got to assume that they probably put this one out first before the other one. But I don't know. But yeah, this one's interesting. Just a reminder that in addition of being great singers, Yuma, Fuma and Nicholas are actually able to do some freaking backflips. On one hand, they are amazing dancers and can... Wow, bruh. I love that the first comment I read is about them like dancing when they didn't even dance in this. But that's so funny. Honestly, amazing though. So yeah, in Hypen's webtoon, there are werewolves. So that's really interesting. I actually really do wonder, like, I was sure it's that also there's a character called Kan with like a Khan, and some people think that represents K, which is very interesting. I wonder if it probably does. I'm sure that they probably knew, because they already knew that like K was going to be in the other group, like, do you know what I mean? So they probably wrote K as like the main guy because of that, because they knew those four were going to definitely be in it, so they could easily write like K into the storyline. Sorry, I'm just trying to oh yeah, I mean, people pointing out "Will you run with us" is a perfect headline. Yeah, it is. Honestly, that's amazing. So I think Haruwa might be the like face of the group. Like, he's very much always, you know, I mean not always, but a lot of the time he starts the songs, or he's at least like, you know, in that, like, somebody said that Joe and Kay are probably like the centers, right? But I have to assume that Haruwa is probably like the face of a group at least, because he's often like starting songs, or he's like doing something with like something. I don't know, like, it's interesting to me. Do you know what I mean? But I do really like I do really like this lore. I would, as I say, please tell me about like what you think when it comes to like the actual lore and like the you know, the Enhypen stuff. Like, if you are somebody who likes Enhypen, you like the lore, and you know, you like all this stuff, please let me know actually, like, you know, how I mean, I guess, because the only things I really know is like that they're werewolves, and that there's these red like cloaked lady people. That's the only thing I probably know, and I don't even know what they are summoning or whatever. I'm assuming the only reason I think they are like on the vampire side is because I keep seeing bats when they're there, but I don't really know if that's the case. You know, it might not be right, but either way. So I'd love to know what your thoughts are on that. I'd love to know what you think about, like, basically the lore. Sorry about that. But please, yeah, tell me how you feel, you know, your thoughts on just the entire thing, I guess. Just the entire vibe. But yeah, I'm gonna go. Goodbye.
That was a lot of like nonsense.
Can but be kidding.